If you're someone who is constantly confused, then in this video I'm going to share with you 5 steps to overcome confusion. But before that, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon and give me a thumbs up if you like this video. So let's dive straight into the topic of confusion. A lot of you keep asking for this video that, please tell us, Dr. Meghana, why am I so confused all the time? If you are someone who's also overthinking and you get paralyzed when it comes to making decisions, I would really request you to go watch my video on overcoming overthinking. And I really want to first tell you about the confusion in terms of why are you confused firstly. You got to understand what must be the reasons. Unless you're not aware of what could be the reason of your confusion, you're going to dabble on this solutions in a shallow way. You are not going to dive deeper to understand and eliminate the root cause of your confusion. So let's first understand the first cause that might be causing confusion in your space. When you are a child and if you failed multiple times at whenever you made a decision and you kind of had this failure or made the mistake and something didn't go right, and if this event, whatever happened in your past, you took it to the heart. Because everybody around you probably either ridiculed you or laughed at you or scolded you, reprimanded you for making those mistakes. Remember, as a child, we all make mistakes. Now, how the mistakes are handled by the adults around us, a large part of our life, we decide about the mistakes or we start feeling what you feel about the mistakes. Now, as a child, if you failed multiple times and there was a fear of failure that got into you because people didn't approve of you, in this scenario, in your adulthood as well, that fear of failure will go into. So every time you want to make a decision, that fear pops up in your space. And what if you fail? And what if you fail is a thought that can paralyze a lot of you. And let me tell you this, I have not seen one single person who doesn't have a fear of failure. Okay, so it's not that you're alone feeling this way. But what happens in your case is people, those who are successful or able to take right decisions, are the people who are able to cope with that fear. And you are someone who is keeping that fear alive as a coping mechanism to resort to going back to the same old setting or same safety or comfort zone. Now, if this is you who's going through this fear and wants to go back to the safety, let me know in the comments box telling me that fear of failure. You resonate with this. The second part, now if you don't have the fear of failure, if suppose in your childhood you had the overbearing parents, and what I mean by overbearing parents, practically they made all the decisions for you. Now you see, as I said earlier, that as a child, when you make mistakes, you learn from those mistakes, and the earlier you make those mistakes, the faster you learn. But if suppose you had the overbearing parents, overprotective parents, those who took all decisions for you and did not allow you to make mistakes. Now, as an adult, you're going to grow up not understanding what decision to make and how to make it right, because you don't know what is wrong. Understand something, you only make right decisions when you make wrong decisions, because it's only the wrong decisions make you realize that what would be right for you. But if you have never taken decisions, how do you know what it is? And that paralyzes you or that confuses you when it comes to taking decisions. The third reason could be you are a people pleaser. What do I mean by that? Your entire decision making is based on how people look at you, what they think about you. If you make this decision, are the people going to view me in a bad light? If I make this decision, are the people going to view me in the right light? So you are all the time thinking about other people, the outside force, to make those decisions based on their approvals or based on their appreciation, based on what they think about you. Now, if you're going to give too much weight for people and what they think about you, you're never going to be able to make the decisions and you're always going to be confused about it. If you are a perfectionist. Now, perfectionism can lead to various mental disorders like anxiety, depression, burnout feeling. And if you are someone who's a perfectionist, you are going to constantly weigh your decisions right and wrong. And when you constantly weigh your decisions right and wrong, and if you get a hint of it, that what if I make this decision and it goes wrong? That is going to paralyze you to make that decision, and you perpetually stay on a confusion rather than making that decision. The next one is very simple. If you are someone who has lost the sight of the big picture, see, we all have goals. Some of you have physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial goals. And when you lose the bigger picture, you don't really look at what's going to happen there and what is your big goal. In the small things, then you get stuck, and that makes you confused, and then you don't realize because you lack clarity of how to reach there or what exactly is the big picture. And the further the big picture goes away, you start getting more and more confused in the current scenario. The another reason you may be confused is if you are not really an expert on that topic, or if you are not knowledgeable, or if you are unaware of the topic. Now, if there is some topic that you don't know about, obviously it's going to make you feel that you cannot contribute much, and when you cannot contribute much, you're going to feel confused. What you say, what not to say, what to do, what not to do. The lack of knowledge can definitely lead to a lot of confusion. A lot of times it happens that when you are not able to make a decision, it's simply that you lack that information that is vital for you to make the decision. When you make the right decisions, your self-esteem goes up, your confidence goes up, your self-image goes up. And when you make the wrong decisions, all of these three start tanking down. And a lot of your confidence depends on your decision making. But you can only make the right decisions by making the wrong decisions. So it's like a kind of like little bit of that, you are in that circle where you are, going on and on in the loop and in the pattern, and it's very critical for you to break or interrupt that pattern of confusion, so that you take that decision, whatever the decision, whatever the consequences, and from there on you begin again. The successful people are not the people those who don't make wrong decisions. Successful people are the people those who make wrong decisions and then make them right. This is what even Mr. Ratan Tata had said once. We make the decisions, we aim, we fire, we go ahead. And then if things go wrong, or if things doesn't work, we make it right. And that's the best strategy. That's the fastest way that you can start walking on your path. Now let me know in the chat box, which one of these you are struggling with. Are you a perfectionist? Are you a people pleaser? Are you someone who's lacking the confidence or lack information? Or are you someone who's fearing the failure? Are you someone who had overbearing parents who never allowed you to make the decisions? So which one are you? Let me know in the comment box. And if you know somebody who falls into this category, maybe this is the right time to share this video with them so that they also get these insights. Because you understand something, when we are the sum total of the 5 people that we surround ourselves with. And if you're someone who's confused, and if you have people around you those who are confused, that is also going to make a one big pool of confused people. So why not share this video with 5 people at least, so that they also get the breakthroughs on their confusions. Now I'm going to give you the 5 steps to start getting out of your confusion. Now this is something that I want you to understand is a process. You cannot get from confusion to clarity probably in one moment. I mean, you can, but it's not something that is sustainable. Now, I want you to build some practices in your daily routine so that you slowly transition from a person who's confused to a person who's always having clarity. So let's begin. Get your pen and paper out and start writing down the tips that I want to give you today to get out of confusion. The first point that I want you to focus on is, whenever you're confused, look at your breath. Focus on your breath. Every time you're confused, you're going to have some shallow breath, or you're going to have shortness of breath, or you will notice that you're breathing fast, or you're just going to feel you're just going to feel low in your body. So the first thing that I want you to do when you're confused is focus on your breath. When you focus on your breath, you start breathing deep. You follow your breath. Take a deep breath and allow that breath to go inside your throat, then in your lungs. Then it goes inside and filling up your lungs. It presses the diaphragm down, so your lungs are filled now, and from here your abdomen is filling up now. Follow the breath. Do this at least 5 times. Take a deep breath and release. Take a deep breath and release. And keep doing this every time you feel it. Now what you're going to do is you're going to sit in a corner of the room or wherever you feel is your isolated place where nobody's disturbing you. And I want you to take out your journal and your pen. And when you're focused, when you breathe, you're feeling calmer, you're feeling better, sit down and start writing. What are the areas that you're confused in? Which area? Is it your health? Is it your relationships? Is it your career, money, time? Some relationship? What are you confused about? What is the decision that you're sitting on and not able to make? Just make it a habit, like every single day make this habit. If you're someone who's perpetually confused, then this habit will go a long way in your life to train your brain to move from confusion to clarity. So the second step is to note down what are the areas that you're confused. And then pick that one area that you're confused about and start writing down what exactly is the decision that you are not able to make. There will be a question mark in your space. What are you feeling in that moment? What is the threat that you are experiencing? Where do you feel that you're not secured in your future when you make this decision? Remember this, that every time you're going to feel unsafe, every time you're going to feel insecure about the future, you're not going to make the decision. So then ask yourself this question: what exactly am I feeling insecure about? What exactly am I fearing about my future? The third step that I want you to focus on when you're clearing up your confusion is make a list of your pros and cons. Suppose you are sitting on 2 decisions, which way to go, whether this career to choose or that career to choose, whether this is the right decision in this moment or in this relationship, or this is the right decision to make. Very simple. Just make a pros and con list. And this can be done for the smallest of decisions, from the eating of that piece of cake to the eating healthy salad, to making a pros and cons about getting into a relationship or picking up a job or doing certain things in your time. You can make a pros and con list, and then that pros and con list will slowly bring in the clarity about which decision is the right decision for you. The fourth step that I want you to do is, you can do this in a visualization. Just take it like, sit back, go behind like this, relax yourself, and just, go into your wild imagination. And you have 2 decisions to make. First, you imagine that you made the first decision, the first choice that you made. And now walk on the timeline, because every decision follows with a consequence, right? So what would be the consequence of this decision? Just float through your life, just flow in your imagination and just visualize how your life looks like in 3 months, in 6 months, in 1 year, in 3 years, in 5 years, if you make that first choice. Do the same with the second choice. Now you see, we are not alone in this world. So every decision that you make has consequences on the people around you. Like, I have my son, I have my family, and I look at every decision that I make, big or small. Whether it's eating that piece of chocolate to, making a certain career transition, or even making this video or adding value to my students or my audience. Everything has a consequence on my life and people around me. When I'm going into my visualizations, I look at what would be the consequences on my nearest people. What's my inner circle people? So just notice who's going to get impacted by the decision that you make. Your family, your parents, your husband, your wife, your children, your siblings. Then go a little wider. By making this decision, who else is going to get impacted? Your team, your organization, your colleagues, your friends, so on and so forth. You keep looking at these decisions and keep visualizing, and these choices, both these choices, as much as possible, and you will understand. Your brain will start giving you the inputs about which decision to go for. Your heart will tell you which one is right for you, and just go for it. The fourth one: once you made this decision, avoid questioning your final decision. You know, a lot of times when you start second guessing everything, your brain just gets confused. You don't know what to go, what to follow. So once you followed these first three steps, then the final decision that you have made, just go for it. Just go for it, follow your heart, and just give your 100% in that decision. And the fifth one that I want you to understand is just celebrate. Once you've made the decisions, once you've acted on it, celebrate that. Whether that right or wrong decision will be proven in future, but in that moment, just celebrate. When you start celebrating, you making the decisions for yourself, you see how your brain, how your heart, how your body will start supporting you and start giving you the clarity of making the decisions. If this video helped you, make sure that you share it with at least 5 people if you care for them. Subscribe, hit the bell icon and like this video. Thank you.